Amazon and the White House have come face to face. The issue is about Chinese tariffs. What happened?
Actually, the event starts like this, Mr. CÜNEYT. Yesterday, a site called Punchball News, which is more of a technology news site, made a claim saying that Amazon will now show the price increases due to the tariffs imposed by Trump, especially on China, as price hikes. So, for example, if something that was $20 has become $40, it will show that 20% of this increase is due to the customs duty hike when sellers use the application. Following this was asked to the White House spokesperson. Well, as you can see, the reporter is asking this right now. The spokesperson for Trump interrupts and says, well, I have already spoken with him. My president, Amazon, is taking a hostile and political stance by doing such a thing, he says. And he says, why didn't they do such a thing for the products that became more expensive as a result of the policies that caused the highest inflation in the last 40 years during Biden's term, but they are doing it now? He says this is completely political against Trump, a hostile attitude from Amazon. And he even shows a news report from Reuters in 2021 stating that Jeff Bezos made a deal with a Chinese propaganda company. Look, he says, they are officially doing China's propaganda. Then the same journalist takes the floor and says, but Jeff was a Trump supporter. He asks, what happened when we talked about the recent policy change at the Washington Post? Look, I can't tell you anything about the president's personal situation. He says it was just a mistake made by Amazon. Then the same question is asked to Trump in the evening. It turns out that Trump calls Jeff Bezos. According to a source from CNN, he calls angrily and says, what is this? Jeff Bezos immediately backs down. He says, no, there's no such thing. And then an hour later, an Amazon official speaks to CNN, saying we don't have such a policy. We haven't confirmed anything like this. He says this news is false, and the issue is resolved between Jeff Bezos and Trump. An interesting...
What do you mean resolved? I'm virtually describing the phone call to you without knowing. He says to Jeff Bezos, how could this be possible? How could something like this happen, he says. Jeff Bezos' voice trembles and he starts crying at that moment. Then he says, I'll ruin you if you do something like this. He says, okay, sir, we'll take it back from there. And then he calls the guy, hangs up, and has it retracted. I'm talking about something completely virtual. Do you understand? I think it happened like this. Probably,